Hi guys, hope you are having a very good time. I've been very busy, so I couldn't really work on a new video. I have to be consistent, so here's a video for you guys where I just want to talk something about myself. Hope you guys get to know me a little bit because I have lot of things to talk to you all. So yes, in today's episode we are talking about originality and the perks of being original. So let me share a quote with you which I found online when I was trying to find out about this topic, that is perks of being original. So here it is: original minds are not distinguished by being the first to see a new thing, but instead by seeing the old familiar thing that is overlooked as something new. You all know that we as human beings are individual beings with individual identity, and what separates us from other species is our mind, our consciousness, and it's a constant quest to find out what our ultimate journey is, and mostly it's got to do with finding yourself. So one of the perks of being an original is that you as a creative person will have your own identity and you will explore that identity. And since you are creative and you are blessed with a creative mind, you'll always find new ways to express yourself, and that's where a lot of ideas come to your mind, a lot of new thoughts that come to your mind, and you're constantly exploring those thoughts. So if you find yourself and if you believe you are creative, you are original, one of the perks of being an original is that you will always find newer and newer ideas. And when you find these new ideas and explore them, you are not afraid. You're not afraid of sharing those ideas with others. You're not because a lot of times what happens is your ideas, when you share it with people, there's a high tendency of people copying your ideas. I have had this experience a lot of times wherein I given an idea and it is taken forward and advertised by others, and they get the perks of that, but that really doesn't affect me because I can come up with newer and newer ideas. So even if I'm not bothered, or I'm not afraid if somebody takes my idea, because I can always come up with newer ideas in future. So that is one of the perks of being an original, because you are never afraid. You are confident about yourself, and no matter who takes in your idea, who advertises your idea, you get credit for it or you don't get credit for it, you are not afraid, because any given time you can come up with better ideas and better things to tell. Another perk of being an original is you can fit in. And I'd like to quote Charles Darwin. He says it's not the strongest species that survives, it's the species which can adapt to newer environments that will always survive. And yes, if you are an original, you can survive anywhere. With limitations, you can go out there and do and achieve what you're meant to achieve. So that is another perk of being an original, wherein you are adaptable. You are not bound by certain things. If you want to express yourself, you don't need something to be in a perfect order. But if you are an original, you can really explore yourself, express yourself without any limitations. I've got a running nose, so please excuse me if I touch my nose often. Let me talk about this episode today. I am limited. There might be some issues with the lighting. There might be issues with the audio. I might not look presentable like how I look in other episodes, because I have limitations. But this is the right time for me to speak about originality and perks of being an original, that even though there are limitations around me, I can still express myself and talk to you guys about this topic. And actually that is the reason why I thought of talking to you all about this topic, that is being original. So let me talk about this factor of creativity. That is, a lot of times people imitate others one, and a lot of time people are inspired by others. So there's a thin line between these two, that is imitation and inspiration. I am inspired by a lot of people. I am a sucker for inspiration, and there are so many people who inspire me in ways that maybe sometimes they also don't know. Like I said right in the start, we as human beings have a conscious of our own, individual consciousness about ourselves. So if you like someone or are moved by some artist, oftentimes what happens is people start imitating them and start acting like that. Let me give you one example. A lot of times students who are studying and have difficulties with education give this classic example. Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of college, Steve Jobs dropped out of college. What people don't realize is these people are dropouts from one of the top universities in the world. So in order for you to just get in those universities, it's a challenge by itself. So you can't be studying in a university that doesn't even exist on the map and say no, I want to drop out and I want to make a name for myself. It is possible, I'm not saying it is not, but provided you have conviction. And all these people whom I mentioned, which is Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, name whoever it is, they had conviction, they were ready to work hard, and most importantly they were an original with original ideas, and they didn't imitate others. Imagine if Steve Jobs had to imitate somebody else, would he create one of the greatest companies on earth? No. So being an original always pays back. It's a gift, but you have to nurture it well. You have to have conviction, you have to work hard, and only then you can take it out there. So these were my thoughts about being an original, and how it has so many perks, and how you are not scared, or how you're confident about yourself. Don't be afraid. If you are an original, go out there and make a mark for yourself, make that dent in the universe. So if you are an original, nurture it, work hard, and achieve what you are meant to achieve. And that's it. So if you do like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.